really is. Everything we're doing is a bridgeway process. I just call it the bridgeway out of Babylon. So what's super crazy exciting about this event is it is the only one of its kind that I'm aware of that's specifically about the solutions of moving from the public to the private. And the enthusiasm that people are having over this is really like glowing my heart, and it's blowing my mind. It really is, with the way people are receiving it and how they're wanting to be part of this event. So it really is about, the biggest part of it is about unifying, becoming that beacon of cohesion for the movement, for people to come together and really understand these specific strategies and structures that people are putting into action. It's not a concept, it's actually happening. It's not a theory, it's actually in motion. And you get to witness the people that are talking about these structures. And it's not just one structure. There's a lot of different ways to find your way out of Babylon. So it's checking out a bunch of different structures and strategies, and then actually talking and seeing people that are taking action, and they're putting these structures into action, into focus, and then you get to see the results. So we're talking about the actual landscape of the new society.
And we are talking about Liberti's Horizon, a gathering happening next weekend. So that's April 30th and May 1st in San Diego, California. We're with Michael Bertrano, the creator of this event. And this is actually one of the themes, I think, you guys, for this year is it's going from the digital to the real, right? And it's going from the theory to actually doing the things to operate in the private, to create the new world, to be truly sustainable, and for us to all co-create this, the parallel structures and the way that more and more people are just going to be flooding over to. So Michael, you put together an amazing lineup, including our own Mike winner, and also Dr. Devin Vrana from our team is going to be there. I may be there. I may be able to rearrange my schedule. I don't know, but it's not important. I want you to share more with our viewers here about this experience, because they can connect with it both digitally and with the live stream, and just really tap in to what you're creating that way, what everyone's co-creating that way, and also in person. There's some tickets left, right?
Yeah, so of course the brilliance of the digital technology is no matter where you are in the world, you can tap into this event. So there's a live stream and a recording that you can get. If you're not able to check out the entire event in one fell swoop, you can get the recording and watch it at your leisure. So that's the power of that technology. And then there's a whole nother spiritual technology, is what I like to call it, is being in the field of others. So there are still tickets available for the live event. We certainly encourage people to come to the event, because then you can sit into the field of others and meet your tribe and meet the speakers and make some connections and be part of that broader exponential field that's created when we unify in that way. Yeah, that's a big part of why I do what I do, because it's not easy putting on these kinds of events. It's a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of energy and effort. And I do it because I know the value of what happens when we come together. So it's important to not overlook that.
Right on. And Mike, you're there talking about the new world in conscious, decentralized crypto and Quartal, and how people can actually do it now, right?
Yeah, and it's ironic that we're talking about going in the private, but then we have, public solutions like decentralized open source technologies. But what it's doing is it's empowering people. Like with Quartal, for instance, it was been set up from the very get-go to be completely focused on being in the private. There is no public corporation. There is no connection to fiat or anything like that. And so it's set up knowing that essentially the future will be us behind trust, doing PMAs and all this, and having that digital infrastructure is extremely important, because whether we like it or not, as Michael so perfectly put forth here, the power of digital is allowing us to connect across space and time until we become psychic, right? and then allowing us then to go into our communities physically, with our brothers and sisters, and enact what we're learning together on a global scale. Of course, we know the powers that be, they want to centralize this. They want to control this. They want to keep us in these corporate state gulags, digital gulags, like the Twitters and the Facebooks, so they can control the narrative and counter this. But things like Quartal and privacy coins like Pirate Chain and other, the Fed Fediverse and all these other really innovative open source technologies are going to allow us to have that infrastructure to enact all this properly in the private. So I'll be talking to that. And to our own creative needs to embrace open source technology in a new kind of rebranding the internet in a new way, that because it's been hijacked. So very exciting to be there in person in San Diego, one of my favorite places as a SoCal boy. I can't wait to be hanging out with you, Michael, in person. We're going to have a blast.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to it. It's a lot of work to get to this event, but I know we're going to have a lot of fun when we get there.
Well, guess what? Flying, they removed the mask mandate and stuff now, so it's not as bad as it was when I was going down to Austin dealing with wearing a mask. So yeah, dude, it's things are shaping up right now for this event. And Josh, if you scroll up, look who's going to be there. Our one of my favorite, Renette Senum. Who we've had on AlphaCast a number of times. She was down at the event, at Health Freedom for Humanity event we just did with Alex Zek. Robert Michael, Mickey Willis, Peggy Hall, what a champion for against the masks, speaking of. Of course, Foster, I think he's going to be coming in virtually, right, Michael?
Yeah,
but a powerful force out there. Our friend Jason, Ron Gibson, who is up here by us, who we've did a 3-part series on land patents with Bear Lando. That's great. Ron's going to be there. He is a seriously celebrated elder. Kevin Jenkins, Shiloh, I got to connect with last week. She or was it earlier this week? I don't know. It's all blur. But she's amazing. I really appreciated her, Michael. So you've put together a fantastic lineup of people. And if you scroll down a little bit farther, Josh, actually, yeah, we have Marcia, who we were just speaking about today earlier on a call, and how she is, I don't think she's come out to the public yet, and she is a maestro when it comes to trusts and private law. So that's very exciting to have people like this at this event. Very cutting edge, Michael.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, that's one of the things that's really exciting about this. A lot of the elders that are stepping out now, realizing that it's time to bring their wisdom and their experience into the broader community of people. Because they've been teaching a long time, but now it's time to teach on a much bigger stage. Dr. Desi is one of those as well. Yeah, she's amazing. And there's 4 elders or 5 elders in their 80s, I think, going to be at this event. So
that's truly an amazing lineup here. And so basically, there's general admission in person. There's VIP ticket. So get there if you can, right? And we're fully supporting this event as us being the event community. We're asking everybody, if you can at all be part of this, even digitally, become part of it. Get the live stream. $20 for the live stream, Michael. Thank you for making it so affordable. This is just, I can just feel the creative energy that's coming into this gathering next weekend, and it's palpable.
Yeah, the central driving hub of what the event's about is the law. We ground it in the law because we understand it is the #1 principle that connects everything. And, that's why we supported the Law for Mankind course and had a number of speakers to speak to that. And so what you're doing, Michael, is an extremely parallel and a valuable asset to what we're trying to do as well. So it's very much in line with our vision, and we're just so grateful you're doing this.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thanks for sharing the aspect of law. That's really a big part of it. And like the deepest truth of the whole thing is about substance over form. It's about knowing who you are first and stepping away from the 3rd dimensional perspective of thinking that form is going to be our savior. What's going to be our savior is us, right? The deepest truth in our God consciousness and Christ consciousness. And then by virtue of that, it supports form. So we unpack the history of law. We unpack how we got into this mess. We talk about structures. And then we have people, and that we're talking about land, how we protect our land, equity law, all these elements that people need to know about to learn the bridgeway process out of Babylon, right? And then we have people coming and talking about how they're putting these structures into place. And, we're talking about banking structures, new education with new curriculums, new food systems, new business structures, all of it, all going to be presented here.
And so you have been doing events like throughout the last 2 years, right? And you were telling me a couple weeks ago how basically on a weekly basis, right? Or almost weekly basis, you're inviting dozens of people into your own home, and you're just like having that container just continue. You're building that container, and you were sharing with me that some of the transformational experiences that are happening. And could you talk a little bit about that, because that's one of your geniuses, isn't it? Is creating these containers and then birthing transformations individually and within the community.
Yeah, oh, thanks for elucidating that. There's so many different events that I've hosted and put on in the past couple of years, and it started out by having events in my house that we called the quantum sessions, where we would get together and do meditations, and we would meditate by elucidating what's in the darkness. We would shed light on where the darkness was, and we would move that into the collective, and then we would visionary the world that we wanted to be in, and we would move that into the collective. And they were really powerful sessions, and that moved into my partner and I. We started doing weekly. They're called ecstatic style dances, and we just called it essential because everything was shut down, and we knew that dance and connection and movement was essential. So we called it essential. So every single week for the past year and 4 or 5 months now, we get together now it's every Thursday, and we have been weekly. We did miss a couple of weeks, but whatever, for the most part, we were there. And these are all transformational experiences where we have an open space where people get together and they just ground the energy of whatever was in their week. And there's music that's part of this. Ecstatically, you can move energy, and it's a non-verbal space where everybody has to find how they communicate without using their intellectual language. And that's been going on for many, many years in the ecstatic community. We just held the ground, and we opened up what's called the Essential in our community, and we've hosted that every week, and it's still alive now. And it's really, really potent medicine on a weekly basis. And then going across the
You're
country.
making me hungry for that as a DJ who plays them, does ecstatic dance. One of my favorite things to play because it is so intentional and so no judgment, and it really allows us to tap into our inner knowing and like you said, really ground through the lower chakras and release all that. It's a phenomenal thing, and I understand you're going to have some dance, right? You're going to have some of that at the event.
Yeah, we have DJ Leif that's coming in on the end of Saturday evening for a community mixer. We're calling it MIXXER. For us to be, instead of being in the space and communicating with the teachers, we're going to be in a big space in community where we can, connect and exchange information and be in that broader community. So that's the end of Saturday night. So that's part of the live event, is the experience of the mixer and being part of that as well. Yeah.
I just want to say it's so powerful how you're bringing the spirit, the intentional, the compassion, that aspect, that soul, with the law, with solutions, with leaders who are actually, again, going from theory to doing, right? Going from digital to in person, and just modeling that. I'm so excited for this event. So if you're watching this, Liberty's Horizon is the name of the event. There's a link below or in the description of this video. You guys, any final thoughts here as we're counting down? So this is April 30th and May 1st. Tickets are still available in person. And if you can't make it in person, support the event, get the live stream, $20. You guys, any final thoughts?
In this process of how we're growing and learning, my encouragement to everybody is don't get stuck in the paralysis of analysis. You don't need to know everything to be able to move forward with what's going on. Just take baby steps. You're going to learn as you go. And there's so much support. There's so many brilliant people that are here to support. And I'm here to tell you, I don't know everything. And I'm moving forward with things, and I'm putting on these big events. So I'm like that perfect case example of, you don't need to know everything to be able to move forward. So that's my encouragement.
Beautiful. And as I always say, yeah, let's have fun with it, right? Or what are we here for? So I can't think of a more fun place than San Diego. So hopefully I see some of you guys in person. I love coming to these events, getting big hugs and meeting you guys and taking pictures. It's so fun, man. So I hope you guys, if you're anywhere where you can drive or figure out how to fly there and come meet. I know, Michael, there's some hotel room deals, or, also, like go to our community and see if there's any people you could stay at their house or whatnot, right? On the Telegram, or you know, Josh, we could figure that out, because I know you have friends coming from Santa Barbara and they found a friend that they're going to stay with, to reconnect with down there. So if there's a will, there's a way, and we hope to see you guys in person.
Right on. We hope to see you guys there. Thanks for being who you are, being on this path with us, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.